So, most teachers, administrators, and kids in the English sector headed back to school today. This is after a 2 week break for the holidays. And prior to that, they had missed 8 days of classes this fall due to the strikes. The French sector, however, heads back tomorrow to school after 5 weeks of strikes. We know now that tentative deals were reached over the holidays. They still do have to be voted in, but in the meantime, it is back to the books. How are they going to make up for lost time, though? Marion Miller is a Montreal high school art teacher. We've checked in with her a few times. She's hopeful but weary, and we're going to find out more. She joins us again now. Thank you so much for your time today, Marion.
Hi, thank you.
So is that an accurate description? You're hopeful but wary?
Definitely. We're very excited, and we can't wait to see our students again. We've really missed them during this time that we were away, but we are weary. We haven't seen the offers yet, unfortunately, and we don't know what the government plan is for this back to school, and we're kind of a little bit annoyed that we're only going to know that tomorrow afternoon. We didn't have the time to prepare in advance for how there might be changes to the school calendar.
Education Minister Bernard Drinville has said he will announce tomorrow this plan. From what I understand, he hasn't consulted teachers, administrators, or anyone on that, for that matter, as to what the real situation is. Am I right about that?
Yeah, well, we definitely, as teachers, hasn't been consulted. I don't know if he's talked to the administrators at all, but it's once again a situation where we have so little information, and we are the people who day to day are going to be following that new plan and accommodating students and trying to catch them up for what was lost. So it does feel like a lack of consideration towards us, unfortunately.
What about the fact that he's only releasing this plan tomorrow afternoon once you're already back in school?
It's definitely annoying because we had a teacher work day today, which we thought we were going to be able to use to really plan the next couple of months and say, okay, what are we doing with the second report card? Is it being moved or not? How do we have to readjust? And yes, it was a useful teacher work day we had today, but at the same time, we are lacking so many details. So it wasn't as useful as if we'd had the plan in advance of today.
It seems to me, if we look back at a history, what Bernard Drinville has done as education minister here, this idea, and I've mentioned this before, of lack of consultation has been consistent from the get-go, and it doesn't seem to be any different now, which has to be very disheartening as a teacher.
It truly is, especially because teachers, we showed throughout our strike just how committed we are to the profession. The fact that we gave up those weeks of salary because we wanted to fight for schools to be better, and then showing just the disregard and the lack of consultation. Again, we really don't feel like we're valued very much by our education minister.
Are you happy with the deal that has been put forth? Are you confident that I know the working conditions were a big concern. What do you think about this deal as it looks?
So unfortunately, we do not have the details yet. We have to wait for our General Assemblies to look at it. I've heard that we've made some important gains, and I really hope that those gains around class composition are going to have been addressed in this new deal, because that's what's really important to us. We need to meet the needs of all students, and the way classes are overloaded at this point, we can't do that. So I hope that's what's going to change in this new deal.
Yet we heard the minister, though, talk. Remember when even the premier said flexibility? That was the big word in these negotiations. I assumed that would have to do, and I know the part of it was not letting teachers know as late as August where they're going to be going the next year. They wanted to move up to June. What are those other issues as far as you know with respect to flexibility? Is it class size? Is the amount of teachers? What would it be?
Support?
I know that our unions made some sort of commitment to try and look into the hiring being moved up to June, and said, we will try to address that. But that was one of those local issues that actually couldn't be totally addressed in the provincial negotiations. So I'm not sure if there's anything concrete at that level. Our local school boards did commit to trying to look at that, but I don't think flexibility is really the answer to problems in schools. I think it's understaffing and under-resourcing. I think those are much more pressing issues.
I mean, it's got to feel weird to be heading back tomorrow without a real sense of what you're heading back to. The students, what their needs are. I mean, as we've discussed before, Marion, the coming off COVID, already so many setbacks on that front. Food insecurity has been an issue, but you still don't even really know what's in this deal. There's so many uncertainties here. So how does that leave you feeling?
Yeah, there are a lot of uncertainties. I think we're just feeling relieved to be back, and we're feeling proud of the strike and of the struggle that we did together to show how important education is to us. We knew everything would not be solved by this negotiation. We knew we wouldn't come back to a perfect scenario in January, but I really hope when we get to finally look at the deal that we'll see something that tells me, okay, next September things are going to start getting better. Next school year we'll have things in place. So that's the hope. I'm not totally discouraged, but anticipating reading the details of that offer.
What is when you sit and talk to fellow teachers, and I'm sure there's been plenty of chances to sit down and have this discussion, given this has gone on for so long, is there a consensus here in terms of what it is you'd be willing to say, okay, this is good enough for now, or things that you're absolutely not ready to concede on?
Well, we wanted to make sure that the salary offer at least caught up with inflation, because inflation has been so crazy in the last couple of years. So I think if that's met, people will be satisfied that there's kind of at least we're keeping up with the projected inflation. And then it's really to have a mechanism for classes to be more balanced. So those are the things we're looking for. And I think if that's in the offer, it will be acceptable.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to make assumptions, but we got to hope and assume that it's in there, that the union got you guys a good deal. Marion, I'm with regards to the students themselves. And like we said, the concern of how far they may have fallen behind. And Bernard Drainville putting forth this plan tomorrow. We've heard all kinds of things considered. We know that exams were pushed back. Like you mentioned, the report cards may be pushed back. We've heard PED days may be canceled. March break may be canceled. The school year may be extended. If it were up to you, what would you like to see happen here?
I think that definitely the February report card has to be rearranged somehow, either pushed back by about a month or canceled entirely as it was done during certain COVID years. I think that would really take pressure off students. I don't want to have to tell my students tomorrow, all right, let's hurry up. I've got to evaluate you 3 weeks from now. I think that would be too much pressure to put on them. So it's really the February report card that I hope will figure out a solution with that. And then I don't know about extending the school year. I think we're able to catch up what was lost between now and June. I think that I trust kind of the skills we learned all through the pandemic in terms of readjusting, prioritizing. I think we'll be able to make use of those in this context.
Does it put extra pressure on you, though, as a teacher, even? Like, I'm thinking the whole point was to have better working conditions, a less stressful environment, more support, and yet you're going into a situation here where you're trying to make up for lost time. I mean, that kind of adds to the stress.
It does add to the stress in the next couple of weeks, getting set up and kind of like starting a new back to school season. But I really am just hoping it'll be worth it in the long run, and that there'll be changes that will affect me over the next 5 years of teaching.
Yeah, let's hope so. It's, as I said, it's been a long time. You know, we forget sometimes about the kids themselves. We're talking about teachers and how hard this is, and people having to take second jobs, et cetera. So hopefully this is a glimmer, more than a glimmer of hope. We know there's a deal. Hopefully it'll be a matter of the union saying, okay, I think you should accept it, and teachers heading back, because it's been enough. And by the way, I should point out in this discussion, you brought this up, Natasha, earlier on.
School buses.
This is still happening. Transco is still out. What are we, 4 weeks into this now?
So multiple school boards affected by that, which is just an added inconvenience for parents and kids. And, I mean, I would add to teachers to some degree too, right? Because just in terms of you want the kids to be there on time, ready to start learning, and I'm sure that the school bus strike affects that as well.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope they'll be offered something that's adequate very soon.
So, yeah, a lot of parents hoping the same thing. Marion, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank
Marion
you.
Miller, Montreal high school teacher. What's your story? Is your daughter back today?
Yes, back today. Still
Okay.
no bus, though, which, I mean, you know, if you live within walking distance, great, no big deal, but we don't. So that means driving her. I mean, listen, it's not the end of the world, but it is an added inconvenience for parents. And I have the luxury of being able to have that time in the morning to take her. Many parents don't. So there's been a lot of scrambling, a lot of carpooling, a lot of making alternate arrangements.
Fingers crossed tomorrow. Bernard Drainville says he'll let us know what's in this deal, and then it's a matter of having this ratified. So fingers crossed.